What's up, everybody? It's Spicy Topic. Something I wanted to talk about for a while is the Grammys. The reason I'm prompted to do this video is because Diddy now comes out talking about how upset he was about the Grammys shading certain ethnic groups, and we know the types, okay? Just for not giving us, and I say us because I'm African Americans, this is about African Americans, for not giving us the credibility. Tyler, the Creator, also who got a Grammy, he has something to say about the category of which the Grammys portrayed his specific type. He was portrayed as urban. Tyler went on to say that this is just a nice word of using the N-word. It's just a replacement word for the N-word. And I can't do anything but agree. But I gotta be honest with y'all, to some degree I'm a little bit like, yeah, whatever, because Nicki Minaj spoke out a lot about this back 2019. She talked about being bullied by Ken Early. She talked about how she didn't get a Grammy because of his dislike for her. Ariana Grande came out to support Nicki Minaj and also called Ken out. Ken was a producer. He actually said he was going to step down after this year's Grammy, which aired on the Sunday, the 26th January. So I wanted y'all to take a brief look at what Diddy had to say about the Grammys. Take a look.
And I want to thank everybody here from the bottom of my heart, that really cared about me. And we are a musical family, and we have to be there for each other. And now, because we are a family, I have to be honest. For the last 2 days I've been conflicted. I'm being honored by the industry that I love, the family that I love, but there's an elephant in the room, and it's not just about the Grammys. There's discrimination and injustice everywhere at an all-time high. But there's something I need to say to the Grammys. And I changed my middle name to Love, so it's Sean Love Combs now. You don't have to call me a different name, it's an added on name if you want to call me Love. So I say this with love to the Grammys. Because you really need to know this. Every year, y'all be killing us, man. Man, I'm talking about the pain. I'm speaking for all the artists here, the producers, the executives. The amount of time that it takes to make these records, to pour your heart out into it, and you just want an even playing field. In the great words of Erykah Badu, we are artists and we are sensitive about our shit. We are passionate. For most of us, this is all we got. This is our only hope. Truth be told, hip-hop has never been respected by the Grammys. Black music has never been respected by the Grammys to the point that it should be. So right now, this current situation, it's not a revelation. This thing been going on. And it's not just going on in music, it's going on in film, it's going on in sports, it's going on around the world. And for years, we've allowed institutions that have never had our best interests at heart to judge us. And that stops right now.
Among the people that are unhappy with the Grammys, there is a woman that you may have heard about here and there. Her name is Deborah Dugan. Deborah Dugan, she has an extensive work ethic. Deborah started working with the Grammys on August 1st, 2019. She became the CEO and president, replacing a man named Neil Portnoy, who was the producer as a recording producer. Deborah began as a Wall Street attorney. She rose to VP during her 8 years of the EMI Record Group, president of Disney Publishing Worldwide. She took a job at a nonprofit organization, partnered with some of the world's biggest brands to raise more than $600 million to help fight AIDS and other diseases in Africa. Dugan was also a firecracker, energy, great creativity, and a hardcore business background. And this was given by Bono, who is a major person in the industry. Among all of those compliments and all of her work ethic, after she started working with them, no sooner, she had a lot to say recently about the Grammys rigging awards. She called out the people that are head bosses over there that are basically white men. She talked about them, and she's white, and she called them out, saying that they are constantly snubbing major African American artists like Jay-Z, Beyonce. She called out several big names in the industry. I was shocked that she didn't call Nicki Minaj out. So you heard what Diddy had to say about the Grammys. People are applauding him for this, but I'm like, Nicki Minaj spoke out about this a long time ago. When is the world going to stop their dislike for her and use logic? Use your mind, use your senses. Don't just... I feel like people don't like Nicki Minaj, honestly, because of the way she talks, the way she expresses herself. I feel like people think she's fake, she's snobby. I know what they are saying because I know Nicki Minaj has a distinctive personality. The way she expresses herself is somewhat darling, you know, somewhat successful. She is successful. And I think that one thing I see is Nicki has always been the same. So it's not like she's fake. I've seen consistency with her. Her personality has been the same. She has not changed at all. She's from the big city, New York, and that's how she speaks. It's her accent. She dresses very nice to me, in my opinion. She's very colorful, very, very talented. And she has to be bossy and has to be assertive, okay, when it comes to her business. And when I say bossy, I mean assertive. She has to assert herself, and I think it's smart. It's kept her where she is, and it's made her very rich. So I'm all for Nicki Minaj. Yes, I'm a fan of Nicki. You know, and I have to say, I also saw some other things come out about her brother. I just hope people don't make mistakes and blame her in any way. Make her a blame or point a finger at her for anything. That's her brother, okay? That's what people need to realize. That's her brother, her blood. Before all this, it was her brother. And I know that that came down on her, and it was hard for her to be true to her job and what she is presenting to the world, and also love her brother. That has to be hard on her. So I just hope that folks would just put the blame where it should be and not just blame her because that's her brother, and because most people have an issue with Nicki Minaj. They don't like the way she talks. Honestly, if they can keep it real, they don't like the way she talks. They don't like the way she carries herself. Well, I absolutely do. I think that she carries herself in a womanly manner, in a very classy way. I think that she has a lot of style. Very talented, down to earth. And I think she's just being who she is for the most part. Well, that's what I think. I want to know what y'all think. What do you think about the Grammys? What do you think about Diddy calling out Grammys? Do you think that it's more effective in where they might hear him out now because they're under scrutiny due to Deborah suing them and calling them out, a former worker of the Grammys calling them out? What do y'all think? Do you think that they're going to just let this fly by and they're not going to do anything about it? Or do you think that it is now that time where they are going to start treating people right? There's also some investigations with, I believe it's the RIAA. These are the people that are federal, and the federal enforcement is coming down on the RIAA due to claims of payola in the industry. Payola is when you pay to play, when you pay radio stations to play your music. Cardi B came out and told everybody. The girl was, I don't know if she was ignorant, but she's telling on herself, okay? And I think part of what she did, if not all, prompted these investigations. People are speaking out. Now, rather it be a little bit of us, because I know My Radio, I'm subscribed to My Radio's channel. I know she's big on calling things out, and I'm definitely with her on that. You know, it's the faithful few, but big in number, small in numbers, but get a lot done. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, yes, it is the time to call people out. It's time to make known people that are using illegal means to get ahead. Stealing somebody's work and not giving them the credit is dirty, and she should be held accountable for that. Bodak Yellow, there was a big discrepancy about the real artist, the real writer, the real producer of that song not getting any credit. They basically stole her work allegedly, and they didn't give her any credit. And this was the main song that brought Cardi B to mainstream. I'm not for that, and I can't understand how people that are just logical people that really take things for what people do, say, and what they see. People that are logical, how can they encourage this behavior? How can they defend this behavior. How? I don't understand. Even fans, like, if you're a fan, you know, I would do it on the low. I would not want to embarrass anybody that I look up to, that I respect. But on the low, in a DM, they might not respond, but they might be looking. So you never know. I want to know what y'all think about it in the comments based on everything I said. What do y'all think about people like Cardi B, who predominantly does not write any, or let's say hardly any of her music, but yet she's getting awards like Best Writer. She was the first female to get Best Album, Best Rap Album, among all the other female rappers that ever existed. Cardi B and Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill was the one that got a Grammy, but she deserved it. Not because she's black, but because she worked in it. She put her work in it. She wrote this. She put her heart in it. It wasn't stealing other people's stuff. Not that we're aware of. There's never been claims, and you can't find it because it's not there. She did this work on her own. She earned her title. And that's the thing about it. Do you think that 2020 should have people be honest, even artists? Do you think that 2020 should have artists present their work? Let's see what you can do. You know, you can like these artists and you can buy their albums, stream their music, and just be ham for them. But can you ask of them to present their best? I don't want you to present somebody else that wrote for you. Then I'm not dealing with the real you. I want to deal with you. I want to get to know the person I've been fighting for. And I want to know what y'all feel about that. Can we push them? Can we push them to be them? To be them and show us who they are by way of showing us their creativity. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Peace.